Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. A tragic aviation accident occurred in northeastern France on Sunday when a small skydiving plane crashed shortly after takeoff. According to reports from Global News, all 11 people on board were killed. The aircraft, identified as a Pilatus PC-6, had departed from the Nancy Essy airfield before falling nearly vertically just 300 meters from the runway. The victims included 5 skydiving instructors, 5 novice jumpers, and the pilot. Local authorities, including Interior Minister Laurent Nunez, described the incident as the largest aviation accident involving skydiving in France in roughly 30 years. Witnesses, including some family members of the victims, reportedly saw the plane drop suddenly. Emergency services were deployed to the scene, and the Paris prosecutor's office has launched an investigation to determine the cause of the crash. The site has been cordoned off as forensic teams work to gather evidence. According to a CBS News report, rescue teams in Venezuela are continuing their desperate search for survivors 5 days after twin earthquakes devastated the region. The disaster has claimed more than 1,400 lives, and tens of thousands of people are still feared missing. In heavily affected areas like the coastal city of La Guaira, the epicenter of a severe humanitarian crisis, residents are searching through the rubble of collapsed homes for any sign of their loved ones. Amid the ongoing tragedy, rescue workers have found some beacons of hope. A U.S. search and rescue team successfully pulled a mother and her 9-month-old baby from the debris of a collapsed building. Additionally, an 11-year-old boy named Kenger was rescued, though he was sadly the sole survivor of his family. Currently, more than 300 American rescuers are on the ground providing assistance. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio stated that he has spoken with Venezuela's acting president Delcy Rodriguez to offer the full support of the United States as search and recovery efforts continue. According to Al Jazeera, Russian missile and drone strikes targeting several regions across Ukraine have killed at least 8 people and wounded 34 others. Ukrainian authorities reported that a missile attack on the industrial hub of Dnipro killed 5 people, including a 13-year-old girl, and left 28 wounded. Meanwhile, a drone strike in Zaporizhzhia, located near the front line, killed 3 people, including a child, and injured 6 others. President Volodymyr Zelenskyy condemned the horrific attacks and urgently appealed to Western allies to bolster Ukraine's air defense capabilities. Strikes were also reported in the Sumy, Odessa, Chernihiv, Kherson, and Kharkiv regions. The attacks coincide with renewed statements from the Kremlin, which asserted that Russia's conditions for peace remain unchanged. Russian President Vladimir Putin reiterated demands that Ukrainian forces withdraw from the Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson, and Zaporizhzhia regions, which Moscow claims to have annexed, and that Kyiv formally abandon its ambitions to join NATO. Putin also reportedly rejected a Ukrainian proposal for a mutual halt to long-range strikes. US President Donald Trump has announced that a high-level meeting between the United States and Iran is scheduled to take place in Doha, Qatar this Tuesday. The announcement comes despite recent military skirmishes in the Gulf, including U.S. strikes near the Strait of Hormuz and Iranian retaliatory attacks on American bases in Kuwait and Bahrain. While Trump claims the meeting was requested by Tehran, Iranian Deputy Foreign Minister Kazem Gharibabadi stated that technical talks were not currently planned, suggesting a potential disconnect between the two sides. The White House has confirmed that Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner will lead the U.S. delegation for these discussions. These talks are part of a 60-day negotiation window following a memorandum of understanding reached earlier this month, which aimed to end the conflict and address broader regional issues, including Iran's nuclear program. Despite the diplomatic uncertainty, the administration remains committed to the ceasefire, while warning that further violence against U.S. interests will face a strong response. Al Jazeera reports on this developing situation. According to Al Jazeera, Pakistan recently conducted airstrikes in 3 Afghan provinces following a deadly assault on a paramilitary base in Karachi. Despite a consistent pattern of retaliatory airstrikes, military operations, and deportations of Afghan nationals, security experts argue these measures are failing to curb attacks within Pakistan. Analysts note that such actions are largely reactive and lack a holistic counterterrorism strategy, which includes addressing deeper governance issues in border regions. The Afghan Taliban, while currently at odds with Islamabad, has denied the allegations of direct support for the Tehrik-e-Taliban (TTP) and has instead accused Pakistan of causing civilian casualties during their strikes. This cycle of violence and diplomatic friction is increasingly straining relations between the two countries, with experts warning that an over-reliance on military force without a political or strategic resolution is unlikely to restore peace. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.